Smarterfan.
Hey everybody, welcome to another segment of Smarterfan Podcast, where we bring you behind the veil of sports, business, and life. I'm Joe. This is Barry. What's going on, Barry?
There's so much going on, Joe, in the world of sports. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my goodness gracious, Joe. There's so much to cover tonight. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing all right.
Good. What's cooking?
All right, so I'm going to talk about a gentleman by the name of Houston Harris, better known as Bobo Brazil.
Not the Bobo.
Now, he was born in Little Rock, Arkansas, and his father died when he was 7. So now he worked odd jobs, and as a young man, he briefly played in the Negro Leagues for the House of David. Okay, so now he was discovered by NFL player turned wrestler Joe Savaldi, and he trained and mentored him. Now, he was originally named Bobo Brazil, the South American giant, but a promoter misprinted his first name in an ad as Bobo, and the name stuck.
Wow.
So now he's credited with breaking down the color barrier in pro wrestling, and he was considered one of the first black pro wrestlers to be a marquee name in North America. So, but early in his career, many bookers feared that him beating white wrestlers would cause riots. So most of his integrated matches were in Canada. So now as his popularity grew, it prompted promoters to put aside their racial bias in order to make money. You know,
get that money.
Yeah, everybody loves green. Everybody loves green.
Love that green.
You know. Now, his first match took place in 1948, and his style as an honest athlete made him popular with black and white fans. And he became a big draw. But despite his popularity, you know, it's the same old story. He was still banned from going into restaurants and hotels. And he even couldn't wrestle in certain territories.
Yeah.
You know, now he wrestled such opponents as Killer Kowalski and Johnny Valentine and Haystacks Calhoun.
And the haystack.
Yeah, man. And his finishing move was the cocoa butt.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a headbutt, basically.
Yeah.
So now he would go on to mentor Rocky Johnson and James Harris, better known as Kamala. No relation.
Oh, wow.
So, and at one point, he was a tag team partner with Andre the Giant.
Oh, wow.
Now Brazil, he himself, he was 6'6".
Really?
Oh, yeah. So now he retired in 93, and he was the first black wrestler inducted into the WWF Hall of Fame.
Oh, wow.
And that was in 94, and he was inducted by his longtime rival, Ernie Ladd.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the big cat. So now he had a wife and 6 kids, some of which wrestled. You know, they didn't make, big names or anything like that. And he ran a restaurant called Bobo's Grill in Benton Harbor, Michigan.
Ah.
Yeah, and that lasted for more than 20 years and became a local landmark.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, he did all right for himself.
Nice.
Now, unfortunately, he died on January 20th of 98 from a series of strokes. So he was 73. So he had quite an illustrious career.
Yeah.
So
sounds like it. Oh, yeah. That's a legend.
That's
a legend. Bobo Brazil. That's a legend. Boy, you be pulling it out of the archives, boy. You be pulling it out. Wow. Bobo.
Yeah, man. So what's going on with Shedeur? I know he got hurt.
Yeah, I heard. It's so much drama around Shedeur. It's not even funny. And I got a comment tonight. People have been asking me, and I said, listen, if Cleveland fumbles the ball with Shedeur, it just speaks to my theory of the bottom 15 are always the bottom 15. You've got 35 quarterbacks since the new owner has drafted. None of them have worked out. Your best two quarterbacks ever in Cleveland was who? Sight and Kosar. That's it. So if you drop the ball on this, I ain't nothing I can tell you. Then someone very artfully broke down how much money the owner has made on Shedeur and the jerseys. $233 million. So he's already recouped whatever Deshaun cost him.
Yeah, right.
And the kid hasn't thrown one pass, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm just, people are like, you're not upset? I said, no, I'm a Shedeur fan. I'm not a Cleveland fan. I would like to see Cleveland because of Jim Brown. I'm always a Jim Brown fan. But since they did Jim Brown dirty, you see what that franchise been, right? And he says, I said, I'm not going to argue with you. Just look at certain franchise. Them, the Bengals, the Chargers. They go to the dance. They go to the prom, but they never get a dance. And it's just the way it is. There's certain bad juju, or it's just bad. So if they blow this with Shedeur, I know there's one owner who's sitting on the sideline going, I dare them not to sign this kid. And the person said, well, who do you think it is? I said, the Jags. The Jags have gotten absolutely nothing, and I'm not going to put it all on them, but they've gotten nothing out of Trevor.
Nope.
They drafted him high. He's making a lot of money, and the return on investment has not been very good. So
not so far.
It's been 5 years, brother. It's been 5 years.
Yeah.
So can you imagine? It would be hysteria. He goes to the Jags back with Travis. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. I'm trying to tell you. It would be a zoo. You hear me? Zoo.
Yeah.
And he said, oh my goodness. I said, let me tell you. If he fumbles the ball, because he's like, oh, well, the owner threw him under the bus. I said, it's Cleveland. Cleveland has had, I'm going to be quiet. Cleveland has had more number one draft picks in the past 5 years than any franchise. Where they've gone? Nowhere.
Well,
right. So Shedeur is landing on his feet. Will continue to land on his feet, and I'm just waiting to see if they're gonna fumble the ball. I'm just watching. I'm like, okay, let's see.
Yeah,
let's see what y'all gonna do. You'll fumble Jim Brown. Let's see if you fumble it again.
Well, I'm going to piggyback on that.
Okay.
And I'm going to give shout congrats to Sterling Sharp, Antonio Gates, and Eric and Jared Allen for making the class of 2025 a Hall of Fame.
Yes. Sterling got in there.
Yeah.
Sterling got in there.
That's
awesome.
And he gave Shannon his gold jacket, as a tribute to Shannon giving him his first Super Bowl ring when he got inducted.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up.
So Sharp, he averaged 85 catches and 1,162 yards with 65 TDs in 7 seasons before that neck injury cut his career short,
Yeah, Shannon Sterling was putting out work. He was giving people work.
Now, before the festivities started, Thurman Thomas took the stage. And he led the crowd in singing happy birthday to Marv Levy, who turned 100.
Marv Levy is still alive?
Yes, he is.
that guy was coaching at 80.
I'm telling you, man.
I don't know what kind of vitamins Marv taking. Him and Pete Carroll. What in the world y'all eating?
I'm telling you, it must be in the water or something.
Wow, Marv. See, do you realize that Marv Levy, that means Marv Levy was born in the late
1925.
1920s? Yes.
1925.
Oh my goodness. So did he come up on stage or?
They didn't say. They just said Thurman Thomas led the crowd in singing him "Happy Birthday."
That is great. 1925.
Yeah, I think that's the year the Giants came into the league.
Ooh, man, Marv Levy. Wow.
So, now Antonio Gates, he closed out the day, and he's one of the few players getting inducted that was an undrafted free agent.
Antonio Gates, who played for the Chargers?
Yes.
Tight end?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he was a basketball player.
Right. He was discovered by the Chargers tight end coach Tim Brewster after he led Kent State to the Elite Eight.
Yeah.
So now he finished with 955 catches for 11,841 yards and 116 TDs in 16 seasons with the Chargers.
Yeah, Antonio was doing work.
Oh, yeah. He was a beast. Nobody could stop him.
No, because because of that basketball background. So as tight end, you put anything on him, he's just jumping over you.
Exactly.
Or he's just bullying you.
Exactly.
Get off of me.
You know.
What are you gonna do with me? I got you about 25 pounds at least.
So
stop me doing what?
So now Micah Parsons, he requested a trade.
Yeah, he got to. It's called negotiation. This is what you know what he does.
Mm-hmm.
You got to create buzz, drama. That's what he does.
Yep. Unfortunately, but according to Parsons, this stems from a meeting that Jerry had with him, where Jerry wanted to talk about leadership, and then flipped the script and started talking to him about contract without his agent being present.
That's Jerry. That's what Jerry does.
Mm-hmm.
That's Brian will tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he does. He tries to get you to buy some old deal, soften you up, and try to get you to get it done because he feels you desperate.
Yeah,
he's gonna try you now. Jerry gonna try you.
Yeah, well, this all could have been settled before Crosby and Garrett Watt got paid.
No. That's not Jerry's way.
Yeah, we know he likes to drive up the price on his own players.
Yeah. That's how he keeps the Cowboy name out there because they ain't winning nothing. So you got to do something.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the way it is. Yeah, but So now, Jimmy Horn.
That's my guy.
So what's going on with him?
Jimmy Horn, all Webster down in the Ravens, all of those guys are, and they're not talking about it, but it's clear that these guys were not drafted high, but they're putting on a clinic. And a friend of mine says, well, what do you mean? I said, look at the tape. They're beating guys who are first team, all pros, because they came in because of Prime and bought into the system in Colorado. They're pro ready.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Their work ethic is right. Their mindset is right. They understand what they're to do. They're disciplined. There's no drama off the field. They're handling their business.
Yeah.
And these guys got to realize, and this is what gets a lot of guys, well, I went 1, 2, 3, whatever. Oh, you're going to sign a big contract. But if you don't start producing, you'll be home with all that money.
Yeah.
Kenny Pickett is almost home. He went number one, and ain't nothing showed up but behind that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you've seen flashes and this, that, and the other. He's about to be out 4 teams already. So, yeah, these guys, Jimmy Horn, Will with Colorado, Denver Broncos, these guys are pro ready. They're coming to work. So imagine this being in the locker room. You was a receiver drafted ahead of Horn, and he makes the team, and you don't.
Yeah. Hey, it'd be like that sometimes.
This is what these guys don't seem to realize. You got to produce production. And so I think that again, the prime effect, got to be pro ready. Got to be pro ready.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, that's why I love Jimmy Horn. I'm trying to get a jersey right now.
Yeah, these guys are hitting the ground running.
So, I said to the persons, I said to them, hey, so look at the return on investment. I got this kid in here, 6th round or whatever. He's producing better than the ones that I drafted ahead of him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting him on a discount. Now, if he stays healthy and productive, I got to write a check. I got to write a check.
Yeah.
I got to write a check if I want to keep him. Because don't think people ain't trying to look. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't let him find his way to Kansas City. I'm trying to tell you right now. Not let him find a way to Kansas City. It's a wrap.
Yeah, definitely.
Trying to tell you.
Definitely.
Don't say I didn't tell you, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
So what you got going? What you got cooking?
I'm going to switch gears a little bit. Major League Baseball meets NASCAR. So,
what?
Yeah, man. They had the Speedway Classic over the weekend where they played a game at Bristol Motor Speedway in Tennessee.
Really?
Yeah. The Braves played the Reds, and they drew over 85,000 for this game.
Really?
Yeah, man. Now, unfortunately, the game got suspended because it rained. But before that, Johnny Bench and Chipper Jones were on hand to throw out the ceremonial first pitches.
Yeah.
So, Kyle Busch and Chase Elliott were on hand also for the festivities.
Wow.
Oh yeah, it was a big success. Big success. They came back to they came back the next day and they finished the game and the Braves won 4-2. And Eli White became the first player to hit 2 home runs on a NASCAR track.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow, to drop a field in the middle of a race. That's the way to get that money in there. I ain't mad at you.
Yeah, they put it right on the infield. And my son, he sent me a time-lapse video of how they did it. It was just amazing.
You got to send that to my email. I got to see that.
Yeah, I have to see if I can get it from him. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Technology.
Definitely. Now, the Yanks. I'm not going to rant. I'm merely going to state facts. Okay. Now, they got a bunch of fresh arms, and they still couldn't do nothing with the Marlins because the Marlins, first of all, how do you score 12 runs and still lose?
For coaching.
And then you got players wandering off second base because they don't know how many outs there are. You got players getting thrown out at third from 301 feet because they're not running hard.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Jazz, who gets doubled off of first base on an infield pop-up.
Yep.
And then he had the nerve to say, oh, well, I'd do it again. Well, you know what, buddy? You just showed me how low your baseball IQ is.
Yeah, that's really what's going on, man.
So they got swept by the Marlins. They got the hell beat out of them by Texas. They got a closer who's his ERA is over 5. So how is he your closer?
Because they ain't got nothing else.
No, they just got a closer from the Pirates, and this guy's a lot better than what they got. But of course, Boone didn't put him in. So, now it's to the point now where even Jeter and A-Rod are chiming in.
Uh-huh.
They're saying, they're playing very sloppy baseball, which they've been, and there's just absolutely no accountability.
No.
And Boone, he defends these mistakes and these flaws.
He has to. He paid them.
But it's ridiculous. Well, you don't see Carlos Mendoza doing that. He calls his players out.
Well, we see the results.
So now Carlos Mendoza, he sat next to Boone and, as his bench manager, his bench coach, right? And Carlos Mendoza, what he did was he learned everything not to do. But it's just I'm just disgusted right now, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, I have some good news for you. My favorite player of all time, baseball player, my top 3, has just bought into Yankee ownership, Reggie Jackson.
So that is true.
It is true.
Oh, okay. Because I saw that on Facebook and I thought it was just clickbait.
Yeah, I did too. But it didn't make any sense. But you can't let Reggie Jackson go somewhere else and win. It just doesn't make any economic sense. And that's what happened in Houston with Dusty Baker when they won it in Houston.
Well, he left because he said that they weren't listening to him. He was just talking to the wall.
Yeah, Reggie, Reggie. If you ain't paying attention, I'm out of here. You ain't hungry. So he's like, I'm out. Reggie,
Because they have this stupid philosophy that, all we got to do is get in the playoffs and anything can happen. Well, they're not good enough. They might not even make the playoffs. But
you can't win with that mentality.
Nope, but that's their mentality. So
and that's why they get what they get.
So the NFL and the 4 that were killed.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I've got Smarterfan gear on and these people are finding me. I don't know what's going on. But that situation with the NFL and again, that young man going to the NFL offices in Manhattan, killing himself and killing 4 others, largely due to CTE issues. And people were like, this, that. And I said, listen, it's so irresponsible for that to be happening. All they need to do is partner with someone like the Mayo Clinic. It's a $9 billion a year business. They're making plenty of money. Create a campus and environment where these guys can get their health and all the things that they need. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Be around other players, and they can get their health, right. Yeah. You just can't have, the person was like, Barry, that could be so, so many players and blah, blah, blah. And I said, what did you say? He said, there's so many players. I said, how many players do you think have played in the NFL from the beginning, let's say the 20s? He said, It's got to be like, 30,000. I'm like, no, maybe 5,000. I'm like, what? I said, yeah. And then you got to cut that number down for guys who don't need it, right? They're all along the spectrum. But you partner with the Mayo Clinic, you get to write it off anyway. These guys are right next to the Hall of Fame, so they get, they can do signing things, memorabilia things, all kinds of things to keep them, you know what I'm saying? If they need it. A lot of these guys who retired, they made so much money, they were smart with it. They don't even want the pension. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so, I told the person that is what the gross negligence is. It's like you could be helping these guys. It doesn't have to be this way. And we're not talking about a lot of guys. It could be maybe on the high end 1,000, probably somewhere between 500. So think about it. You build a nice facility right next to the Hall of Fame, right? nice campus, best medical facilities, medical everything they need. How do you go wrong? You're building one on the East Coast, West Coast, in the middle in tech, right? So wherever they are, teams want to do branding with these guys. You know what I'm saying? It could actually generate revenue.
Yeah.
But greed is a monster.
Unfortunately for this young man, he was seeking help.
Yes.
They couldn't diagnose what was wrong with him, and his mental health issues got worse. He was treated for depression.
Mm-hmm.
He was held twice involuntarily for mental health reasons, but he was trying to get help.
That's what's so bad about it. That's what's so bad about it, because guys are on different spectrum. There's different things that affect people. Like you say, he was, it may not have been CTE. It may have been depression. You don't know what has happened in his life, what things have happened. You don't know, because life. It doesn't matter that you're a pro athlete. Things happen. Look at Coach Prime. He's like, I didn't even know I had cancer. I went there for one thing, and they told me I got something else going on. That could take me out of here.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
but this kid, he believed he had CTE, but according to a friend of his, he never gave any indication of any anger towards the NFL. He said the only thing he said was, the only thing he said was that they should get the high school football players better equipment.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I remember we grew up with bike. I remember when bike helmets and pads came out, I could never figure out how that company ever went out of business, because the padding and the equipment was first rate, bro.
Yeah.
First rate quality equipment.
Well, you remember when all the linebackers wore the collars?
The collars, yeah.
How come they don't do that anymore?
I don't know. And I know bike had some pads that had the built-in collar.
And Brian Cox used to wear that pad, that was on the back of his.
That's right.
Back of his neck. So I don't know what happened, but
it's just gross negligence. Just gross negligence. Greed, bro. Greed. It's terrible.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Terrible thing.
We'll have to stop right there.
Well, man, I didn't even get to talk about Coach Prime, but next time we'll get to Coach Prime. But hey, man, it's good to see you. Glad all is well. And as we say on Smarterfan podcast, Joe,
stay in the game.
Stay in the game. See you next week, family.
All right. Good night.
Be well. Take care now.
Smarterfan.